welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the bookstore read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She is a leadership coach, engaging speaker, advocate for leaders at all levels, and of course, an insightful author, none other than Miss Nora Bouchard.
Hi. How are
Well,
you, Daniel?
I'm fabulous, fabulous, Miss Nora. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Sure, absolutely. So, I have actually been working with leaders for the last, oh gosh, I hate to admit it, but it's true for almost 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long run, but
Laurangly.
it's been a joyous run. So, I started my career doing training for professionals on an international basis. And then I discovered this whole field of executive coaching and absolutely fell in love with the work and have not really ever looked back. And one of the things that I do love to do on the side is write. So there are so many stories that I'm privileged to hear from my clients. I
Mm-hmm.
just absolutely adore that. And it just makes life worth living as far as I'm concerned.
And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Nora. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And today, let's talk about your book, Hidden Metrics. The book title suggests we are measuring the wrong things. What is the most damaging visible metric that leaders often optimize for, and what the hidden ones should they watch instead?
Oh, that is such a great question because I think leaders generally think they're doing the right thing. I think they've been taught that what they need to focus on is performance and approval and delivery, and those are good things. But that's not what really feeds our souls. That's not what gets us inspired. And so with a preponderance of focus on just the number side of business, you're only getting half of the picture. So I see hidden metrics as a counter narrative to all the metrics that we tend to look at. It is more internal. It's more about your particular journey in life school. And I just had to start capturing it because I can't tell you how many of actually, I've never really totaled how many clients I've had, but probably
Mm-hmm.
close to 1,000 over 30 years that so many of them have had hidden metrics. These are special goals that they want to work on that maybe they don't share with their boss. These are the things that really have meaning for them.
Interesting, Miss Nora. And what is the central metaphor or story you use in the book to explain why hidden metrics are so powerful yet so often overlooked?
Well, I think it's the thing that's hard to measure. Where we think it's hard to measure. Let's put it that way. We
Mm-hmm.
tell ourselves it's hard to measure. We tell ourselves that nobody's going to care. But in fact, you care and you're important, and it's okay for you to care and want to work on these things. I don't know about a metaphor. I wonder if I have a metaphor. I think it's like, oh, it's such a good question. I have to think about that, Daniel. I'm going to have to think about that. I'm
No
going to come
worries
back
at
to you
the
with that one.
yes,
Good
please
one.
do
What's
come
the
on.
metaphor?
Yes. So in a data saturated world, how do we even begin to look for what's not being tackled or
Hmm.
tracked? What is the first step in developing a hidden metrics mindset?
Well, I think it's the first step is getting clear with yourself. And, a lot of times in leadership, we talk about having a vision for your team, for your company, but I don't think we ever really talk about having individual visions. And
Mm,
I think that's where you really begin. What is it you want to leave behind? What is it you want to be known for? What do you want to create at work? What is it there that is going to make you feel like the time you've spent in the office is worthwhile? So starting with that vision for yourself is really important. So I had this one client, and her name's Jackie. And Jackie was the top salesperson in her company year after year after year. And her boss got accustomed to her being the top salesperson. But she felt that there was more that she could be doing other than just selling. And she tried to talk to him about it, and he didn't really want to hear anything about it. He just liked the fact that she delivered. And that was fine. But he wasn't really interested in supporting anything beyond that. And what she really wanted to do was to give back, to share what she knew, and to start developing other sales professionals in the company. And he was worried that if she spent time doing this, training other people, sharing what she knows, that she would not be spending enough time bringing in the work. But together, she and I worked up her vision for herself, her own hidden vision for herself. And from there, we began to create these metrics that showed progress towards achieving that vision. So that's where we start is what is it you want?
mhm,
And I always think about it in terms of creation because it's not necessarily about fixing you or changing a behavior. It's about what you want, what your sage is saying to you, your internal sage. What is the internal sage saying to you that you should be doing? And that's
mm.
the voice I want to hear when I'm coaching with my clients.
Interesting, Miss Nora. Is the pursuit of hidden metrics more of an art or a science?
Oh, I think it's all right. So okay. So I'll be honest, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like a huge fan of numbers and
Yes.
metrics
Uh-huh.
myself. You know, to me it's more of an art. But because I work with a lot of people in technology and finance and insurance and banking, they want to see the numbers. So we create something so that they feel comfortable that they're really making progress. But so I guess I would say it's both because we have to really get in there and help them envision what's possible for them. And to me, that's an art. And then the rest of it, working up your values and your strengths, that can be more quantitative.
Mm-hmm. Yes, interesting. Interesting indeed. Miss Nora, on discovery and application, can you share a compelling example from your research of a company or team that discovered a hidden metric and how it fundamentally changed their strategy?
Oh, certainly. So there's one client that I had,
Mm-hmm.
Chris, and Chris was head of quality for a large pharmaceutical company. And surprisingly, he was not a member of the leadership team. So, inevitably, what would happen is the LT would make some sort of decision about a series of medicines that they were producing. And then those medicines would be, or those decisions would be rolled down to quality, and quality would test these. And instead of having quality at the table in the first place, everything gets slowed down. And and
Mhm.
and he would get the blame. He and his huge team of 9,000 professionals would get the blame. But it was all because they didn't have a seat at the table.
Okay.
So Chris wanted to be at that table, not for his own glory, but because he knew the decisions would be better. He knew that the product that they made would be better because he would be involved in helping make those decisions. So he wanted this. And we talked about him talking to his boss about it, but his boss said, absolutely not. Stop talking about it. We've never had quality on the leadership team before. It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't want to hear about it anymore from you. And so Chris was like, okay, well, this is what I want. And this was his vision. So he and I worked on this hidden vision, this and set up hidden metrics that got him, moved him step by step by step closer to that conference room. And eventually he did make it to the table. And it was because he focused on a number of other things that he kept focused on his value system that kept him moving forward, and he focused on using his strengths, which kept him excited and energized about what was possible. So the combination of those two eventually got him to the point where the CEO was like, why are you not on the leadership team? Completely bypassing his boss. So this really impacted this particular organization. And they now started as part of their decision making process about which which medicines and pharmaceuticals they were going to start producing and when. It was all now they had more information that they did not have previously. So their decisions since then, at least according to my client, have been much stronger. He's been feeling, actually, he was really discouraged and he was ready to jump ship when his boss told him to stop talking about it. But that has that has since changed. He's really excited about what he's doing there now and how he's contributing.
Well,
Did that
that
give
is interesting story, Miss Nora. And for a manager listening, what's one hidden metric they could start looking for in their team's dynamics this week?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question too, because, they don't have to be all that big. Some of them are smaller. Some of them are, I'm not feeling very energized right now at work. What can I do to re-energize myself? What what am I doing in terms of my communication? Am I happy how I'm communicating? Because it may seem that I'm getting stuck or I'm falling into patterns that are not all that helpful in my communication. Is are you setting the boundaries that you need in order to protect your peace at work? So any there's so many options, so many different ways of creating that vision for yourself. And a lot of it just requires you to just slow down, spend some time alone, and notice what you're feeling about what it is you want to create.
Yes. Totally, totally, Miss. So tell us, Miss Nora, how do you protect the pursuit of hidden metrics from becoming just another exercise in micromanagement or surveillance?
That's a really good question.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, they're hidden. We don't
Mhm.
tend to share them with supervisors or senior leadership. This is just typically between the coach and the coachee. So it is quiet, it is private, it is secret. It is because it's what's really meaningful for the client. And most people If they hear what the goal is or the vision is, they may not really respond well to that. They may they may dismiss it, they may not support it, they may think it's silly, but it may be really important to the coachee. And because it's innately important, it's not going to be something that you end up micromanaging. It's going to be something you want to do. It's going to be something that's going to actually keep you moving forward and keep you excited about work. I did have one client who was really kind of bored at work, and he couldn't tell his boss he was bored. I mean, who's going to tell his boss? Nobody's going to go to your to a boss and say, "Hey, listen, I'm kind of bored. You
Mhm.
know, quit bothering me with this stuff. It's same old stuff." So no. So we weren't going to share that with anybody, but we did start looking at what are your values? What do you think is important about work? What is it you want to be known for? What are the aspirational values that you have? Maybe you want to be more innovative, and in your current role, you're not given a chance to do that. So let's look for ways in which you can be innovative. And then that will keep you motivated going forward. And then what we do is we link in your strengths, because a strength is something you do well that energizes you, that inspires you, that provides the gas for this journey, the fuel for this journey. So if you have that combination of the vision of what it could be, maybe more innovative, more inspiring, certainly less bored at work, and then you bring in your values and your strengths, it's a really powerful combination.
Powerful indeed. Miss Nora, as a leadership coach, insightful author, engaging speaker, and advocate for leaders at all levels, what are your short term and long term goals?
Well, my goals, I'm sorry, is that what you said, Daniel? My
Yes,
goals?
yes, your goals.
Oh, well, I want to get the word out about hidden metrics,
Mm-hmm.
partly
Yes.
because I want people to feel liberated, to know that they can use their workplace as a place for personal growth and development that's outside the traditional metrics that we see at work. That they can create something that has meaning that will last for them, last longer than Q3 or Q4. It's gonna be something you're gonna remember years from now, in your retiree years, when you're thinking, "Oh, yeah, that was a great time. I really turned that around," or, "Wow, I created that. That was fantastic." My short-term goals is to get that message out that the goals that you're handed at work, those are fine, but those are not the ones you're gonna remember from year to year. The hidden metrics are the goals that are really going to bring success that really matters.
Yes, definitely. And good luck to your goals, Miss Nora, and looking forward for more success. And what
Thank
will
you, Daniel. Thank you so much. I'm sorry about the camera.
no worries. Let's do this again on abstract essay. So, what would be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you?
Oh, I think you have to listen to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and not listen to the fear-based messages. Listen to the messages that are exciting, that generate questions and interest. Because you don't have to become a coach to do this. You can do this on your own, but you have to really respect who you are as a unique individual, as someone who is the only you on this planet. So you want to make sure that you're doing that and setting aside time to really listen to yourself. Because when you hear that inner sage speaking, that's pointing you in the right direction, no matter what that direction is.
Yes. Thank you for that advice. Miss Nora, and can you please recommend a book or books to influence your journey?
To recommend another book?
Yes, please.
Oh my goodness. There is one that I absolutely adore. It's called Leadership and Self Deception.
Okay.
And it is all about the stories we tell ourselves about other people and how those stories interfere with our ability to connect and to grow and be fully connected. Um, and even though it's about leadership, it has a really deep message that I think is really important. It's by the Arbinger Institute, and it's one of my absolute favorite books.
Mm, con- Thank you for that recommended book. Miss Nora, thank you, thank you. And what is the most important first step for someone who finishes your book and is fired up to start looking? Where do they begin?
Well, one of the nice things about the book is it actually has a section that's a workbook. So
Mm-hmm.
not only do I talk you through the steps through the body of the book, but there's actually place for you to do your own planning, to do your own visioning. So that's there. And then I think the second thing I would suggest is you start looking for a coach. Find someone who's going to be in your corner and celebrating you, celebrating who you are and all of your accomplishments, each step by step. And having someone like that is, I mean, I, I'm a little biased, of course, because I'm a coach, but I just can't tell you how valuable I have found it to be myself. So read the book, use the workbook in the back of it, and then get yourself a coach.
Yes. Thank you for that empowering answer. Miss Nora, and before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, because my Abstract Essay is already in fifth season, Abstract Poetry in second season, and my Book 101 Review in fifth season too, Comedy 101 in third season, and my Food 101 in sixth season now, Geography 101, Love Letters, Movie 101, and Music 101 fourth season, Science 101, Sex 101 second season of my baby podcast, Law 101, Mental Health 101, Bible Verses 101, and coming this December, Entrepreneur 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Nora, ultimately, is Hidden Metrics a book about better measurement, or is it really a book about a better attention and wisdom?
Oh, I think it's a lot about the wisdom that we do have. And then
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about implementing all of that, making it practical, tangible, not just not just something you think about, but something you actually act on.
Yes. Definitely. And thank you, Miss Nora, for sharing a hidden metrics to the world. Hoping for more and more empowering books like this to come. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your book or any upcoming book or any projects that you're doing right now?
Oh, well, this one's taking up quite a bit right now. I'm also thinking about another book. This is actually my second book.
Mm-hmm.
First book was all about asking for help. It's called Mayday, Asking for Help in Times of Need.
Well, looking forward for more, Miss Nora. Please create more books because the world's need it. Yes, people, let's support Miss Nora Bouchard or Nora Bouchard because if you support her, for sure, more and more empowering books like this to come. So, Miss Nora, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Daniel.
Yes, looking forward for a second episode. Miss Nora on Abstract as I am gonna invite you again. Monica
Great.
people.
Thank you.
Yes, Monica people, see you soon.